17 wickets on day one, only 3 on day two, no wickets whatsoever in the last two sessions as India drive home the advantage in Perth, day two of the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Sanjay Manjrekar with us on ESPNcricinfo match day. All of a sudden, no demons in the wicket.
Actually, not too many people know the first day was played at Perth. The second, the team travelled to Adelaide. I don't know whether everyone knows about it, but that's how much the pitch has changed. It's the nature of drop-in pitches, I guess, where they left grass and a bit of moisture to make sure that you don't get the big cracks. So basically, the nature is good batting pitches. Drop-in pitches, good batting pitches. Sun was out, the moisture dried up, and it's become a really good pitch to bat on now.
Yeah, we saw signs of that early on day two when Mitchell Starc and Josh Hazlewood stitched together what was the longest partnership on either side from the first innings of this test. But after that, the story of the day, Yashasvi, Jaiswal and Rahul. A commanding partnership, 172, also 172 in that much time. Intent gets thrown around a lot, but this was the intent to bat long.
And they've done it before as well. I mean, this is the thing to like about Yashasvi Jaiswal, a very much a modern day player. He's a big IPL impact player, has the big game. You know, they talk about how he has a flyer when he plays for Rajasthan Royals, gets 160 strikers, runs in the first 10 balls. And then he has this other side to him. And we've seen this before as well. We talked about that first test match in South Africa where he, just defended for many balls. So he has that game and he brought that game out. He did that in the first innings as well. But fortunately, he was able to cash in and, make it substantial.
Yeah, it took 123 balls to get to 50. The only slower 50 he has so far in his test career was on test debut. All the more appreciable, Sanjay, given that he had such a tough day one, getting out for a duck the first time you're playing in Australia. A lot can change in 24 hours, but Jaiswal showing you can also learn a lot in 24 hours.
And, these are innings, when he looks back at his career, well, after he's finished it, there'll be turning points of his career that he'll talk about, and this will be one. You always need a good start at the test level, which he had in the West Indies. He'll say, yeah, at home it was great against England. But after South Africa and a little bit of a low-scoring series against New Zealand, which India lost, there was some pressure on him. Failure in the first inning, the way he got out. And you could see the first 10-15 minutes, if you looked at him closely, you could see he was telling himself, how to play lead balls. So it was a crucial innings from a long-term point of view, because whether he gets 100 or he doesn't, this innings will convince him in his mind that he's a player meant for all conditions, and that is what you want to be if you want to be a long-term, top order batter.
He's found able company in Rahul, who too has crossed a half century after being the Indian batter to last the longest on day one. This test career of infinite ups and downs has another uptick.
Yes, and that I have no problem with. Every time he plays well, you see why he's so exceptional. You can understand why team management keeps going back to Rahul. My thing about Rahul is after the 100, when he plays that one innings, it's just unbelievable that his game just slips. It just falls off the cliff after he's played a great innings. South Africa, when he got that 100, maybe in a losing cause. But after that, the rut started. So he's one of those guys who actually gets 100 to get into a rut. So when he gets 100, he looks the part, love him for it. My eyes will be on this batter who's now played more than 50 test matches, that how he carries his form. Once he's done it against Australia at home, where virtually every innings he was getting runs, he didn't get a big score. But the story has been one big score and lots of low scores. Let's hope for everyone's sake and for us to enjoy batting that he is able to take off this time now rather than, nosedive.
I want you to look ahead to the second week of December, because this Rahul roller coaster will find another curve, because Rohit Sharma will likely be back. Maybe Shubman Gill will also be back. What happens then?
I'm loving the company of Cheteshwar Pujara because he is a new player who's been part of the team, and he answered some tough questions because everyone's talking. It's fun. I mean, it's not relevant right now, but cricket is about talking about the game more than playing the game. So you've got Rahul in form. Yashasvi Jaiswal and Rahul likely to put up the best opening partnership. Rohit Sharma could suggest, with the kind of form that he has, that I don't need to open. If you can drop Ashwin and Jadeja and pick a Washington Sundar on current reality, that is an option. It will be tough to do, and Rohit Sharma will himself have to decide, because there's also that history of Rohit Sharma getting 200s in his first 2 test matches, batting at number 6. Another thing that Cheteshwar Pujara suggested, this is not what he suggested, he said KL Rahul at number 3, Shubman Gill down the order. And that again makes a lot of sense. Use KL Rahul's technique, his current form, to bat him in the top 3, because that is where the challenge is really serious. Rohit Sharma with the new ball, pink ball test match is going to be tough, but I guess India will have to go to the captain to bat him in his traditional position. But now India have an option number 2 for Rohit, and KL Rahul, whether he bats at number 3 or bats at number 5, you just have an informed, confident batter in the batting lineup.
Yeah, lots will transpire by the time the caravan moves from Perth to Adelaide. But coming back to Perth, while the conditions got favourable to bat, were you surprised by just how ineffective Australia were as a bowling unit?
See, this Australia we've seen on the first couple of tours when India won, the last 2 tours, where they seem to go a little flat. The only difference that I see with this Australian bowling lineup versus the Glenn McGrath, Gillespie, Warney era is the intent. I mean, they were mean bowlers. Even on flat pitches, they were hard at you, and that is sometimes that is something I don't see as much. There was a lot of talk of them, if they're not getting anything from the pitch, bowling the ball up or short of length, try the bouncers. There was that 100 that Ajinkya Rahane got in Melbourne after the Adelaide match, where he fended a ball evening before and not a single bouncer was bowled to him the next day for a good couple of hours. So they play differently, and that is the only thing. I just want all test bowling teams to get a little more mean. If the pitch is not supporting you, just make life difficult somehow, and not bowling enough bouncers could be one. But having said that, the pitch has really flattened out for all bowlers, barring maybe Bumrah.
So given that, there is of course, with the events of day 2, a recalibrated assessment about where this test match is headed. What now becomes a good target or a safe target?
As I said, test cricket is just changing dramatically right in front of our eyes. I mean, this is a team that was all out for 46 and now has given a lead of 46 in Australia with a much hampered batting lineup. Who knows about Australian batting? I mean, they're not looking very convincing at the moment, and if India sets them 350, you would think, wow, that's great. But time-wise, it will just be day 3, 4. The cracks may start to appear late day 4 and 5, but everything is happening much quicker. So maybe everything that will happen while the pitch is still good. So I'm not venturing, which is a safe target, but just to be extremely safe, I'd say 750 or 800 or something, but kidding. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll take a brave man to guess anything about this test given the events of the first 2 days.